Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Sarah Thompson. The St. Louis Ovarian Cancer Awareness Mission statement reflects a commitment to impact ovarian cancer survivorship by promoting awareness of early warning signs and standard of care, funding ovarian cancer research, and supporting survivors. My next guests know a little something about that mission. Here are Krueger and Lisa Sienkiewicz from SLOCA. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So September is an important month because it's Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
Right, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, and we have a lot of activities coming. We want to make everyone aware of ovarian cancer and its signs and symptoms.
I know you guys have a month full of events, and we're going to talk about that all in our second segment. But first, I kind of want to set the stage because we talk about breast cancer in October. Everyone knows that, but when it comes to things like ovarian cancer, sometimes even lung cancer, and those impacts on women, we don't know the data as much. So tell me a bit about the organization, what it does, and feel free to share any of this kind of percentages or data with us as well.
Well, St. Louis Ovarian Cancer Awareness was begun in 2002 by women, survivors and nurses who wanted to get the word out about the signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer. There are some basic signs and symptoms, and they're pretty vague. Women sometimes have these symptoms and they don't think much about them. The 4 symptoms are urinary frequency and urgency, feeling full quickly, maybe eating a few bites and then not wanting any more to eat, as well as bloating and your pants don't fit anymore, which doesn't really go along with not eating much. So those are, the dichotomous. And then pain, any kind of pain that a woman may have in the abdomen or the pelvic area. Those are the 4 main symptoms. And we try to make women aware of these because they can also be indicative of other illnesses as well.
Okay.
So.
That's interesting. Christine, tell me about the history of the organization, because from my understanding, you started as a group of volunteers and have now grown, obviously, into a 501c3.
Right, the organization's been around, as she said, since 2002, but it's mainly been run by volunteers, 150 volunteers strong. And in fact, I often refer to myself as the hub director because I don't exactly do a lot of the programs, I just organize a lot of things. And so the events that we have coming up are completely staffed by volunteers, whether they are awareness events or health fairs or survivors teaching students are some of the programs that we offer. And so I've been there for about a year, and we just recently hired another part-time person in July.
So you're growing and
growing very strong, yes.
So how do people, when you're, as an organization, people coming to you, is it a doctor or nurse who's referring to them? Is it because people have heard word of mouth, or they're Googling to say, hey, I need a support network? How are people really, given the fact that this is a semi-rare cancer in the sense when we compare it to, just as equally important, but when we compare it to the percentages of, let's say, breast cancer. So how are people finding out about you and then growing and becoming a part of this family?
We spend a lot of time going out into health fairs and going out into the community, speaking with women's groups, employee groups. We also speak with medical professionals and talk to them about the signs and symptoms. But when women come to us with questions, or they need a little bit of support, or they want to get involved because they finally feel good and they want to do something, they find us on the internet. They find St. Louis Ovarian Cancer Awareness will come up, if you Google us. But we're there not as a support for the survivors, but also to give the community a chance to get this information and to get this awareness, because awareness is the key part of our name.
When we were talking before we started this segment, I thought what was so scary, what you were sharing with me, was the process of how the diagnosis can happen, that it's not something that's checked for in a regular, with a pap smear or regular exam. And so you almost have to get to a point where it could be potentially stage 3, stage 4 cancer. What can be done about this other than really what you're doing? Is there any kind of advocacy or anything more?
When we talk to women and we talk to them about the signs and symptoms, we explain to them you kind of need to keep a diary or a calendar of when these symptoms could be occurring. Share this with your doctor, discuss it with your doctor, and keep pursuing. Just because you have these symptoms, you don't have to just let that go and accept them as a part of your life. You have to keep pursuing it. And we encourage them to talk to their doctors about it and keep after it until they finally get some definitive diagnosis.
Yeah, I wanted to add that nationally, there are 22,000 new diagnoses for ovarian cancer a year, and about 15,000 women will die annually. Here in the St. Louis region, there are about 200 annual diagnoses. And we also provide survivor boxes for newly diagnosed patients when they start their chemotherapy treatment. It's a lot of care items related to chemotherapy caps and warm fuzzy socks and things like that to let people know that we're here, we're ready to support, and they're totally free. We also provide a Sister Talk program that a long-standing survivor can be linked with someone who's newly diagnosed and give them some comfort and, you know, a sister talk kind of a thing. And then we also, one of the events that we'll be talking about later is the Steps to Ovarian Cancer Survivorship course.
No, it's so important. I mean, it's so important. I mean, anytime someone loses their life or is diagnosed with cancer, it's equally important. It's just, I think what you're saying, getting the awareness out there, getting the message out there, and you're gonna be doing that next month. So we're gonna talk a lot about these events that are coming up. So we'll have more with Christine and Lisa after we take this quick break. So please stay with us.